Switzerland just became the #1 destination for Americans leaving the U.S., but it's not for the reason you think. In 2024, American expat applications to Switzerland jumped 47% compared to 2019. France? Down 12%. Spain? Fell 8%. The Swiss Federal Office for Migration released these numbers in their Q3 report, and the pattern is undeniable. Americans are choosing Switzerland over every other European country. But most people assume it's about mountains and chocolate. It's not. Meet Sarah Chun, 34, tech consultant from Austin. 2 years ago, she was scrolling through TikTok watching digital nomads sip wine in Lisbon, posting about their $2,000 a month lifestyles. I thought I'd move to Portugal like everyone else, she told me. She even started learning Portuguese on Duolingo, got to a 73-day streak. But Sarah almost made a $50,000 mistake before she learned the truth about Switzerland. Here's what happened. Sarah did the math. Lisbon rent, $2,000 a month for a decent one-bedroom. Utilities, maybe another $150. Food, transportation, she could swing $4,500 total monthly expenses, easy. Portugal's golden visa was even accepting remote workers. It looked perfect. Then she dug deeper. Healthcare wait times in Portugal, 4 to 6 months to see a specialist. She has a thyroid condition, needs consistent monitoring. The language barrier cost her 3 job opportunities with European clients who wanted someone fluent in Portuguese, not just English. And here's the kicker. Property purchase restrictions for non-EU citizens meant she'd be renting forever unless she lived there for 5 years straight. A 2023 study from the Expatica Research Group found that 38% of Americans who moved to Southern Europe returned home within 2 years. Sarah was about to become a statistic. I felt trapped between American chaos and European bureaucracy, she said, like I was trading one broken system for another. That's when a friend sent her one article about Switzerland. What she discovered flipped everything she thought she knew about cost of living. Switzerland is expensive. Let's not pretend it's not. A coffee costs 8 francs. A monthly train pass? 400. But here's the thing nobody talks about. Americans are actually saving money there. How? Average Swiss salary, $95,000 a year. Spain? $32,000. But it's not just the salary, it's the tax optimization. Switzerland has 26 cantons, each with different tax rates. Choose the right one, and you can slash your effective rate. Marcus Rodriguez used to work in finance in New York City. Midtown Manhattan, 12-hour days. 42% tax rate when you combine federal, state, and city taxes. In 2023, he moved to Zug Canton in Switzerland. My rent tripled, Marcus told me, laughing. But my taxes got cut in half. Let's break down his actual numbers. NYC take home on $130,000 salary, about $75,000 after taxes. Rent for a one-bedroom in Manhattan, $4,200 a month. That's $50,000 just for housing. Zug, his salary jumped to $160,000. His effective tax rate dropped to 21%. Rent, $3,600 a month for twice the space. Net result? Marcus saves $18,000 more per year in Switzerland than he did in one of America's most expensive cities. The OECD's 2024 Cost of Living Quality Index ranked Switzerland #2 globally for purchasing power parity for high earners. Meaning, yes, things cost more, but you earn so much more that your actual buying power increases. But the real reason Americans are flooding Switzerland has nothing to do with money. Americans aren't just leaving. They're escaping uncertainty. Pew Research released a study in 2024 showing that 73% of Americans feel the country is more divided than ever. Political fights at Thanksgiving dinner. Losing friends over social media posts. The constant, exhausting noise. Jennifer Park is a doctor. Portland, Oregon. 23 years of practice. She lost hospital privileges during COVID policy disputes. Not because she was a bad doctor, but because she refused to get pulled into the political warfare happening in healthcare. I didn't want to pick a side anymore, she told me. I wanted to practice medicine. Switzerland's direct democracy model appealed to her. Citizens vote on actual policy through referendums 4 times a year. No cable news, screaming matches. Just governance. She moved to Basel in early 2024. 20-minute commute to work. 6 weeks of vacation. No electronic health record typing until midnight. The University of Zurich published their Swiss Stability Index earlier this year. Lowest political volatility in 40 years. The government hasn't had a dramatic power shift since the 1950s. It's the same coalition, just quietly working. For the first time in 5 years, Jennifer said, "I didn't doom scroll news before bed." But Switzerland has one rule that stops most Americans cold. You can't just move to Switzerland. Like, you can't buy a plane ticket, rent an Airbnb, and call yourself Swiss. The permit system is brutal. There are 3 real paths. 1. Employment visa. You need a job offer first. And not just any job. Swiss companies have to prove they couldn't find a Swiss or EU citizen to do it. 2. Entrepreneur visa. Show up with a viable business plan and enough capital to prove you won't burden their system. 3. Retirement visa. Age 55 or older, with proof of at least $4,000 per month in passive income. Permanently. Sarah's solution? She spent 8 months networking on LinkedIn. Applied to 73 companies with offices in Zurich. Finally landed an interview with a multinational software firm that sponsored her L permit. It took 8 months of sending messages, attending virtual conferences, and drinking coffee at 4 a.m. to match European time zones, she said. But worth every message. The Swiss American Chamber of Commerce published data showing that only 23% of applicants succeed without employer sponsorship. This isn't Portugal's digital nomad visa. This is serious. But once you're in, you're really in. Because Switzerland offers something no other European country can match. Swiss healthcare is mandatory. It's private. And somehow, it's better than anything in Europe or America. Marcus pays $350 a month for health insurance. The canton subsidizes part of it based on income. But here's the difference. He chose his own doctor. No network restrictions. No, this specialist isn't covered. He needed an MRI last year for a knee injury. Scheduled in 3 days. Not 3 months. 3 days. I saw the bill afterward, Marcus said. $2,400 for the MRI. I paid $200 out of pocket. The rest? Covered. The Commonwealth Fund's 2024 healthcare rankings put Switzerland at number 3 globally for access and quality. No prior authorizations. No fighting insurance adjusters. No GoFundMe for medical bills. Just healthcare. An American hospital bill looks like a ransom note. A Swiss statement is itemized, clear, and consistent. You know what you're paying before you walk in. But here's what nobody tells you on those expat TikToks. Swiss culture will test you. Jennifer learned this the hard way. 3 months in, her neighbor filed a noise complaint. She was vacuuming. At 8 p.m., quiet hours are 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., Jennifer said, half laughing. And Sunday is sacred. No laundry. No loud anything. I once saw someone get lectured for mowing their lawn at 11 a.m. on a Sunday. It took her 14 months to make Swiss friends. Not acquaintances, friends. The Swiss are polite, but they're not going to invite you over after one coffee. Recycling rules are strict. Like criminal penalties strict. Trains are on time to the minute. If you're not 10 minutes early, you're late. But expat communities exist. AmCham, Internations, Facebook groups. You find your people. ETH Zurich studied expat, social integration in 2023. 54% of expats feel socially isolated in their first year. By year 3, drops to 18%. You adjust. You adapt. So is Switzerland really worth the culture shock? If you're considering Europe, here's the actual truth about your options. Portugal, cheap up front, but bureaucracy takes years to navigate. Healthcare has gaps. You'll need private insurance anyway. And unless you speak Portuguese, you're limiting yourself. Germany, incredible infrastructure, free university, but high taxes, 42% or more. Housing crisis in every major city. Expect to apply to 50 apartments before getting one. France, amazing culture, world-class food, but strikes shut down entire sectors regularly. Slow administrative processes. And if you're wealthy, the wealth tax will eat into your savings. Switzerland, expensive upfront. Strict culture, hard to break in. But stability, efficiency, earning power. And once you're in, you're protected. Over 5 years, Americans in Switzerland save an average of 42% more than those in France, Portugal, or Spain, even accounting for higher living costs. Sarah lives in Lausanne now, walks to work along the lake. Learn French through free Canton classes. Yes, free. The Swiss invest in integration. Every weekend, she travels. Milan is 3 hours by train. Paris is 4. Munich is 5. Geographic advantage is real. I earn more, stress less, and actually have a life, she said. I'm not on call 24/7. I don't check work emails at 9 p.m. I just live. The Expat Insider Survey ranked Switzerland #1 for quality of life among Americans living abroad. Not happiness, quality. There's a difference. So here's what I want to know. Would you trade convenience for stability? Would you pay double for rent if it meant half the taxes and zero political chaos? Or is there another country I missed that's even better for Americans? Drop it in the comments, because I'm making a part 2, and I'm using your suggestions. Sarah told me something before we ended our interview. I'm not running from America, she said. I'm running toward peace. And maybe that's what this whole migration wave is really about.